Upon, the brand new Capone Biopic, starring Tom Hardy as the title character, and directed by Josh Trank, who did Chronicle and the 2015 Fantastic Four film. And I will say directing with Fantastic Four with quotation marks if you know the stories that happened on that film. But I will have a disclaimer with this movie Upon. If you're expecting, and understandably so, it's Al Capone, it's Tom Hardy, you kind of think it's a gangster film, you're kind of thinking it's going to be something like The Irishman. It's going to be something like, basically a Monster Safety gangster film, where it's basically Al Capone walking in, seeing a bunch of people getting whacked, and thousands of shootouts, and all that kind of stuff. Understandably so, you may be thinking about that, but it's not that film. It is definitely not that film. What this film is about is Al Capone gets out of jail because he has dementia. He is locked inside his home, and he is getting haunted by his past, like visions and nightmares, seeing people who are not there, that kind of thing. And it's a good film. It's a good film. It's not the best film of the year and that kind of stuff, but it's good. It's decent. There are some problems and generic things that happens out for the story, mainly dealing with one character, but I will get to that. But here's the thing: the performances are great. Tom Hardy is Tom Hardy. You know, he's fantastic as Al Capone. Definitely as just a quiet and then quickly shouting Al Capone, who's like, rah, 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 ah! Like he's, because you know it's the whole thing of like, no, they're there, and Al, you know, saying something in Italian and all that kind of stuff. He's really good, but again, it's Tom Hardy. What do you fucking expect? He's brilliant, you know. All the other performances are great. There's some faces in this movie that you're like, oh yeah, I recognize that person from that movie or that show, and that. So there are some recognized faces. It's just Tom Hardy's like the only like super big one. But he's really well done and all handled. All the stuff in the second to third act is really well handled, really well interesting, and really engaging. Everything's good in the second half that I was like, wow, this is good, this is great, even with this one little thing. The criticisms I have with this film is that the first act is a little bit slow and kind of makes you start thinking, where are we heading? Because most of this movie, outside like maybe outside the first 10 minutes, for a good 20 minutes of this film, of the first act, Al Capone is just sitting in a chair with a cigar in his mouth, looking at the sunset. And I couldn't help myself be like, I'm sorry, what are we, like, I get the idea you want to show, okay, you know, he's shitting in the bed, like, he's, you know, just seeing things and just naturally without knowing he's having diarrhea, showing he's sick and all that, but you're just like, this is slow, where we're heading, this is just, I don't know where this is going. And then when we dive into like this 10-minute like sequence where we see, I don't know how you call it, it's like the sequence where Al Capone's walking through like a memory, and when that happens, when you feel the sense of the past haunting back, this is when you get, ooh, this is starting to get interesting. This is getting intriguing. This is getting like, ooh, what we got here. Even though Matt Dillon's character makes no flippin' sense. There's a lot of contradiction with Matt Dillon's character. Because he shows up in it. He shows up in that sequence. He shows up out through the film. But there's questions on that thing. There's questions that I have with that sequence. And definitely with his character, because I try not to hit spoilers here, but there's certain things that happen in the first act, definitely his first scene, that you question, how, if that happened, how did this happen, and how did that, and how did that, and this makes no fucking sense, and how did, and he, and the, and to the point your brain immediately just thinking, okay, I'm enjoying this film, second and third act, really well done, but his character just makes no sense whatsoever. Unless they want to do the whole thing the audience figuring out what is real, what isn't real. Unless Trank, because he also wrote this movie. If Trank is like saying that, I'm like, okay, fine, but I'm like, no, just I just couldn't get. Yeah, I was like, what is going on with this character? But guess what? This movie is good. It's a good film. Would I recommend it? Yeah, it's a good film to just sit down, put some microwave popcorn or Uber Eats your local cinema popcorn, and just watch a well done, good film with really good performances throughout. And yeah, I mean that's essentially what the film is. Yeah, thumbs up.